Dear Roma friends, we are starting today's webinar. Now I request Mr. Ravi Kadiva from Greenage Industry, Ahmedabad, to give the welcome speech for our welcome speaker, Mr. Rahul Saini from BDI Industry. Mr. Ravi Kadiva, please come.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Once again, thank you for joining us today for the webinar. Today we have with us Rahul Saini, Executive Director at BDI Group. Having completed his management degree from Kingston University of London, Rahul has been instrumental in shaping the overall governance of the organization from a traditionally managed family business to a corporate structure. Since his joining in 2011, Rahul has taken charge of certain retail divisions of the business and has achieved sustainable growth year on year. Rahul has a knack for finance and has been awarded several accolades during his university days. Corporate governance has taken a central role in the organization, and new methods and systems have been adopted through centralized efforts of the new age leadership at BDI. A short introduction of BDI. BDI makes a diverse range of products in the automotive, off-road, material handling, storage and warehousing, road and highway safety, marine, healthcare, renewable energy, waste management, and other domains. With complete in-house capabilities from product design to tool manufacturing to testing, validation to serial production. Rahul's passion is new product development and exploring new markets. During his time with BDI, he has worked with several customers to convert a variety of conventional parts to rotational molded parts. Rahul has played an instrumental role in the foray of BDI Group into different divisions, with the latest one being digital business, which is now fast growing. And personally, I've done good business with BDI along with Rahul. Best of luck, Rahul. Over to you.
Yeah, I've made you the presenter.
All right. Thank you, Raviji, for such a kind introduction. And we do share a very good relation. Thank you for the kind words. So I'll begin with my presentation.
Muted.
Nathan, if you could just confirm if the screen is visible.
Unmuted.
It's actually pure white.
The screen is it's white, sir. Nothing.
Yeah, maybe the full screen is creating a problem.
Yeah, so I'll just exit the full screen mode. Give me a moment. All right, I'll start. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Manojji. Thank you to the founding governing council of ROMA to give me this opportunity to present BDI and the custom rotational building industry in India and what we are doing. So I'm an executive director at the BDI Group. The company was started by my father about more than 30 years ago. Me and my brother currently hold executive positions and lead the team at BDI. So we are custom rotational molders in India. I'll begin with my presentation now. Just a disclaimer, this presentation has been crafted for the industry. So it contains many text, graphics, images, videos, or content, which are for reference purposes only. We do not accept any liability towards the performance claims, authenticity, or correctness of the information. The rights of all the media used herein are with the respective owners. The images, graphics, videos, and other content are all property of their respective owners. The presenter does not claim ownership or other rights to any photos, videos, graphics, or other content shown in the presentation. Do not share, copy, print, or save any part of this presentation in any form without the written consent of the owner. Just to give you all a small brief about BDI Group. So like I mentioned, we are custom rotational molders since 40 years. And we are present in over 8 different industries, do over 500 product part numbers today. And we are centrally managed by SAP system. The 8 industries that we function in are automotive, tractors, off-road industry being a major revenue contributor to the group, wherein we do several hundreds of different part numbers for different automotive customers. Another very prominent industry where people know us is the road barriers industry, road safety industry. Although not a major contributor to the overall revenue structure of the group, but it is the most prominent one. That is how we are also, I believe, famously known in the rotational molding fraternity in India. Material handling, another section of the business which has picked up in the recent years. So we do a lot of parts for warehousing, storage, and other material handling usages. We also have our presence in the waste management industry, wherein we do dustbins and other sorts of waste bins that are required for the municipalities and other municipal corporations across India. We are also into the solar and renewable energy, where we do very innovative products, have certain patents to our name in that industry, and we've innovated certain first-time rotational molding products in the solar industry in Asia. We have a significant presence in the ports and marine industries over the past couple of years, wherein we work with organizations that have requirements for floats and other allied marine products. I'll cover this further in the presentation. We have also done certain products in the healthcare industry, like hospital beds. So this was a product done by us about a decade ago, wherein we supplied CE certified rotational molded components that go onto metal frames, and the final hospital bed is assembled out of it. It's completely flexible, motorized and non-motorized both. And the 8th one being a passion industry, which is custom molding, the topic of today's presentation. So we are very keen in custom rotational molding in India, and we are always on the hunt for new products and new applications that can further give impetus to the rotational molding industry. To give you a few pointers about the presence of BDI Group in India, we have 3 running manufacturing locations, 4th one shortly starting, and the 5th one under construction. These are located at Mumbai, Pune, Devas in central India, Zahirabad in southern India, and Hoshiarpur in northern India. Across these locations, we have 10 rotational molding machines. We employ close to 500 plus employees, 30 plus product design registrations which are proprietary to BDI Group, and 4 patents to our name till date. We do a lot of different sorts of materials processing under BDI. We're not only limited to LLDP. So as we are custom rotational molders, a lot of products need to be developed in different sorts of materials. So that has given us the opportunity to dabble with different materials such as XLP, polyamides, polypropylenes, even some plastisols for marine applications, and different sorts of flame retardant and anti-static materials for different applications. I'll cover these more in detail as we go on. We have a complete in-house CAD/CAM CAEM tool at our Mumbai location, which was the mother plant of Tool. We have a completely functional and up-to-date material test lab in the Mumbai plant, which is more like an R&D facility for the group. And we are IATF 16929, ISO 14000, FRS 18000, and ISO 9001 certified. And so that is about BDI Group. Jumping on to the topic for today's presentation, custom molding. So this is how the custom rotational molding scenario today in India looks. 80% or even slightly higher than 80% is what all the roto molders in India today focus on, which is water tanks. The custom rotational molding products, such as products other than water tanks, which include all the divisions as mentioned in the right pie chart, are very less. They are picking up. This scenario a decade ago was maybe close to 95% water tanks, but in the past 1 decade, we've seen a lot of improvement in the whole rotational molding ecosystem in India. And that has helped the industry tremendously to focus on products other than water tanks. Whereas in US and Europe, if you see products, there are only 27% of it comes from tanks, a major 20% comes from toys, 10% from automotives. Kayaks is a big business abroad, and other applications such as containers, marine products, and material handling applications. So the industry abroad is very well balanced. However, in India today, even today, the reliance on water tanks is very high, and slowly we are seeing the shift towards other custom rotational molding products. So what is custom roto molding? The term custom roto molding is usually used to denote roto molded products which are unusual, not mass market, proprietary, and sometimes built to custom specifications given by customer or self-derived by the molder. So any product that you see in the rotational molding industry today would have sometime been captured under the umbrella of custom rotational molding. Any product which, so for example, if I have to give you an example with respect to BDI, when BDI entered in the field of road barriers, it would have somewhere fallen under the bracket of custom rotational molding more than 15 years ago, wherein the demand for the products was not that high. Plastic barriers were not looked upon as a solution for diversion and other road construction activities. However, today the demand has gone up, the product has matured to a certain level. It is in the maturity stage of the life cycle, and it's no longer a custom rotational molding product. It's more like a mass market product. What can you make under custom rotational molding products? So these are some broad areas which I could derive or kind of group the products into. Furniture, wherein there are a lot of different sorts of pots, light enclosures, seating, school desks that are in high demand by the government. Then toys, playground equipments, and different sorts of other products which can be done. These completely fall under the custom rotational molding domain, as all the designs and each product is different. Road safety, barriers, cones, etc. More mass market now, but yet not to a level that can be considered as automotive, fuel tanks, bumpers, and other various products that can be considered under the automotive domain. Marine segments, small boats, kayaks, etc. The point of sale items such as display boards, these include all the fancy boards and other enclosures that we see from different telecom companies like Vodafone, Airtel, etc. These were much in demand about a few years ago until the time wireless didn't pick up to the level it has picked up now. Material handling, different sorts of pallets, even that industry has evolved considerably. Storage containers, fish boxes, insulated tubs, different sorts of other refrigerated containers, etc. that can be taken into consideration. Sanitization, portable toilets, urinals, different sorts of washing equipment can come under this. Waste management, dustbins, waste containers, different sorts of gamelas, etc. that municipalities across India require. Underground, yet a custom molding proposition in India soon to become mass market, but it is the products that can be done in the underground segment are sewage tanks, manholes, inspection chambers, different sorts of products that are sometimes required for piping applications underground, gas piping, or even for fiber applications that go underground, and many other possibilities. Any product that you see, even for example, a simple wooden table, if you have the vision, if you have the foresight to convert it into plastic while being economically feasible and being functionally aesthetic, etc., you will be able to convert it into rotomolding. So that's the beauty of rotomolding. Any product that is conventionally made in other processes is more or less rotomoldable until and unless it meets the cost and design specifications that are required to sell the product profitably. To give you some examples of the products that are available in the market today under the custom rotational molding domain, few desks, some beautiful planters also done by molders in India, concept that is very well picking up in the European market and now in India also. So beautiful lighting that can be done, and these are completely niche products with very high on aesthetic value and sold in very premium and other locations. Then we have playground equipments, different sorts of indoor playing equipments for kids. Some small boats, yachts, etc. can also be rotomolded. These also have tremendous potential today in the disaster management services of the government. Some other custom rotational molding opportunities, trolleys of different shapes and sizes for different applications can be used. Some molders in India and abroad are doing these successfully for hotel and hospitality applications. Then foldable containers, the as the voice against plastics increase, single-time use plastics increase in the world, there is a high demand for returnable packaging. That is where such products fit in, wherein the ratio is 1:5 or maybe even more sometimes, wherein you fill one truck of material with the finished goods. And are used for storage, etc. Even for certain pharmaceutical applications, these are going to be prominently in demand now in the COVID scenario, wherein the vials, the COVID medication required for transportation will require refrigerated storage, and that is where rotational molding industry can play a big role. Then there are cylinders conventionally in metal. Big companies in India, plastic molders have successfully transferred these into plastic, and with certain winding jobs on the inner substrate and then plastic case overall. And then there are different sorts of fuel tanks and other chemical tanks, underground tanks that can be done. Uh, some prominent companies are working well in the domain of e-vehicles, electronic vehicles. So these kind of customized, specialized vehicles can also be fitted with parts that are automolded.
Hello, Mr. Rahul. Netak over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, your voice is bit. Actually, I'm getting some feedbacks. A bit. You can speak a bit louder. Actually, there's some people. It's not clear actually, and also a bit more screen can be because actually people are interested in your products, but it's a bit more smaller. The screen you can make it a bit larger screen, a bit more larger. Yeah, perfect. And a bit more. Actually, the voice is not clear. Actually, maybe some speaker issue is there from your side.
I'll try and speak a little louder. Is this better?
No, no, no.
Yeah,
Can you
it's
make
better,
a
sir. Rahul.
presentation mode? Yeah, Vipul bhai.
इसमें प्रेजेंटेशन मोड में क्या दिक्कत आ रही है राहुल जी आपको?
हाँ, प्रेजेंटेशन मोड में आपको स्क्रीन वाइट दिख रहा है. एक सेकंड.
सर इसमें एक काम कीजिए सर, ऊपर टॉप में स्लाइड शो दिया हुआ सर, स्लाइड शो.
हाँ.
हाँ, ये इसको क्लिक कीजिए सर.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think just confirm if the voice is better now. I've made some changes at my end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, perfect.
Better now.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So the key challenges that a rotomolder has to take care of while we are entering in the field of custom rotational molding, as there are opportunities, there are ample opportunities in the rotational molding, custom rotational molding domain. But there are certain requirements for anybody who is wanting to enter this market or wanting to try out new products in the rotational molding, in the custom rotational molding domain. There are certain key factors, key sort of an industry SOP that you need to adopt and understand before you enter in the field of custom rotational molding. Key challenges or rather key parameters that need to be taken care of before you build a product in the custom molding domain. You need to ascertain the product performance requirements. You need to have a perfect product design, material selection. Based on the product design, the tool needs to be designed effectively in the best possible cost and material parameters. The tool development needs to be taken care of with respect to manufacturing ease, etc. Sample production needs to be done with the help of all the latest technology that is available in the rotational molding industry, such as temp loggers, etc. Quality checks, which is a very big domain and very important for you to sustain in the custom rotational molding industry. And lastly, packaging requirements. So you don't want to do all the 7 things correctly and then fail at packaging. So packaging also needs to be taken care of while you are designing the product. I'll just focus on each of these more in the slides going forward. So challenges in custom molding. First, the product performance requirements. So whenever you're getting into a product that is going to be new, that is going to be first of its kind, or it has been a requirement that has been suggested to you by your customer, you need to first ascertain the customer's requirement for the product. Now, this can be your own product which you've thought through and designed or want to design, or this could be a product requirement from the customer's side. Whatever the case be, you need to ascertain the requirements that the product is supposed to perform and make sure that your designs are always based on the 1, 2, 3 basic key fundamentals that you decide on for the product. So you never lose sight of the fundamental parameters that are required for your product to perform. You need to ascertain the function of the product, which is very important. So if the product is supposed to be used indoors, or it has to be used outdoors, based on the different usage criteria of the product, your material selection, your molding parameters, etc., might change. So those need to be taken into consideration before you get on to making a product. And any other specific requirement that a customer may have, which you need to address in the product. So this could be anywhere between, this could be anything like the conventional box that your customer is using in wood has a metal handle which is post-process fitted on the box with certain other child parts which you can easily mold in a roto-molding compartment and make it one piece single molded with the handle provision. So any such specific requirements that need to be taken care of should be addressed in the design stage. Coming to the product design, the product design can be any one of these three possible options. It could be a proprietary design, a gap in the market which you want to fill through a rotational molded product. In that case, you design the product, you validate the product completely, you finalize the drawing for it and design it as per your finalized drawings, or develop it as per your finalized drawings. It could be a customer's design wherein you're just required to make it roto-moldable. So your customer may not be an expert at roto-molding, but you are. So if you get a product or a customer's design which for a product which needs to be roto-molded, you need to add the roto-molding techniques and skills to it to make it roto-moldable. Or you can co-design with the customer. This is very prevalent in the automotive industry, wherein the customers give you a sketch or a certain specification, broad specifications of a product. You are required to come up with the perfect solution for it, a perfectly roto-moldable product with the required specs and functional parameters in place. And as long as you're co-designing it with customer, one key aspect that needs to be taken care of here is that you need to be very open with the customer about the challenges of roto-molding as a process. You need to make them understand that this is possible, this is not possible, and not overcome it at times. So that is one particular area that needs to be focused on as far as co-designing with customers is required. The product design is a varied field. I've tried and put it into words here. Two basic parameters. One is design for cost. So you've designed a product which is going to be sold only on the basis of price reduction or cost reduction in the market. Example, something is today in metal and you know that you can make it in plastic and help your customer save a few bucks on it. So when you're designing for cost, your cost becomes the main fundamental factor, or design for function. So today there are many niche products that are available or that have an opportunity in the market which are not cost conscious and which have to serve a certain purpose, especially in the hospitality industry and even in the medical industry. So products which are used inside OT or other such critical areas of operation, their cost may not necessarily be a parameter, but functions such as antibacterial, anti-dust repellent, etc., will be a function. With keeping the such parameters in mind. And it's always a good idea to run computer simulations on the design first. There are various softwares available in the market, one prominent one being Rotational, where you can run the product simulation, see how the product is performing under different stresses, and rectify certain design errors in the product design stage through simulations itself. Another very important aspect and sometimes neglected by roto-molders is material selection. Fortunately for the industry, the material suppliers ecosystem, thanks to organizations like ROMA, has become very strong. So today, any material supplier is looking at India as a big mass market opportunity, and they are willing to support Indian roto-molders as much as possible through different technical difficulties that a molder faces with their product. The product is very, very important. Different sorts of materials are available in the market. So most widely used, more than 80% maybe, is LLDP. This is regular PE. It is it has a very high processing window, a very large processing window. So it kind of can be used for early stage rotomolders. It's used by early stage rotomolders wherein the process optimization has not yet set in. Then there are LMDPs, which is very closely associated with LLDP. Then there is HDPE in rotational molding. This can be used for applications where there is requirement for increased stiffness. And then very widely used in the Western economy is XLPE, cross-linked polyethylene, very high impact strength, extremely strong, sometimes unbreakable also. The market term for it is unbreakable. Crack resistance, but it comes at an expense, maybe 2.5x of what a normal LLDPE will cost you. Polybutene is also available for the rotomolding industry. It is for specific applications where the product performance requires some certain properties, maybe a high temperature resistance or maybe a high chemical resistance, certain chemicals that are only that only polybutene will be resistant to. So such specialized applications use polybutene PB1. Then there is polyamides, which is picking up also in the Indian scenario now. This is basically for high temperature applications, can be also used in dual layer applications that maybe require very high permeability resistance. But again, nylon is very expensive, cannot be used in mass market products. Somewhere around, to give you an idea, it is about 700 to 1,000 rupees a kg. Then there are polypropylenes. These again are used for increased stiffness, higher temperature resistance, and now that with the advancement in technologies, people are able to grind polypropylenes in regular pulverizers with certain and add-ons. So this has been a advancement wherein polypropylenes can be available at a cost cheaper than they used to be conventionally available. Then there is polycarbonates, which are used for transparent products like light globes, etc. PVC plastisols, highly fluid raw materials used for floats, etc. Then there are flame retardant additives, anti-static additives that are required for specialized applications, and even electrically conductive PEs that are gaining popularity. Now, the key factor here to select your material is based on the product and product performance requirements. So if you need a product that needs to be that needs to have a very high stiffness, you could go in for an HDPE, or you could go in for something like a polypropylene, provided the cost parameters are taken care of. Another factor that needs to be taken into consideration is the availability of that material in India. A lot of these materials today, barring the popular ones, are available on a case-to-case or an order-to-order basis, wherein you need to order them prior and have a certain lead time for them to be shipped to India. So the local availability of the material remains a challenge for the custom rotational molding industry. And so yeah, basically you need to balance the function of cost and the product requirement, and then derive upon the best material that is suited for your requirement. Tool design, another very important parameter in the custom rotational molding scene. It is important to have the correct tooling design to have smooth and hassle-free production. So it is very important for you to determine the number of parts that your tool will have. You don't want to make a tool that has many detachable parts, or you don't want to make a tool that has certain parts which are complicated for the operator and on the shop floor to operate. And that can lead to tool damage, or that can lead to slowing of your production, thereby impacting the costing for the product. Again, the tool design is designed for cost. How many CNC components do you want to use in your tool? How much of machining do you want to do on your tool? What is the costing that will be allowed for the tool based on the product requirement in the market? The design for ease of use, like I mentioned, the number of parts, the complications of each part. And then Pokayoke, you need to constantly keep improving your tools. You need to constantly keep improving your design knowledge set in the organization. for you to achieve maybe zero defect and other such quality parameters. Tool development, making your requirements very clear to the development partner, tool maker. So what has fortunately happened for the Indian rotomolding industry is that there has been a lot of knowledge sharing happening with technical tool developers in the Western economies, and even certain very prominent tool suppliers from countries like China, Taiwan, etc. So that has been a very good knowledge gaining experience for the Indian rotomolders. So whenever you are designing or sending them an RFQ for certain tool requirements, you need to be very open and transparent with them as to what are your product requirements from that tool, so that they can give you the best solution. The type of toolings available are aluminium machined. So this is gaining momentum in the rotomolding industry now, wherein CNC machined tools from aluminium blocks are being used. Cast aluminium, very import dependent type of tools, wherein the casting requirements somehow in India today for a rotomolding tool are not up to the mark, and that is where the dependence on imports increase. Fabricated steel toolings, which are the more conventional tools, and then SS tools, etc. Stainless steel tools are also majorly used for products where you require high gloss and certain other product specific requirements. So that is how the tool development is decided upon. Sample production, this is another critical stage in the custom molding product development system. You need to have the tools such as temperature monitoring systems for monitoring the optimum pH. You need to have the correct parameters from your material supplier to make sure that your operators on the floor adhere to them. And one very key important tip that works here is that you share your findings with the material supplier, and they are very open and supportive in terms of coming to your plant and then helping you process and get the right tool, get the right product from the material that they have supplied to you. And then there are experts available who are there waiting to help you from the vast experience that they gather from different economies and different countries across the globe. Quality checks, it's a very big domain wherein you need to be very, very clinical in your approach. You need to have the right set of quality equipments to make sure that your products that are coming out under the custom molding domain adhere to the right quality parameters that you set for yourself or your customer has given you. So you need to list down specific requirements of the customer. You need to determine the tests that will be relevant to the certain requirements that the customer has given you and make it a part of SOP. So if a product is very high, requirement is very high on functional aspects such as flexural and tensile strength. So in your standard measuring processes, you should have flexural and tensile strength tensile checks included as a part of your standard process for measuring those parameters. Again, quality checks can be bifurcated into two main segments, which is material level testing, which includes the dry flow, melt flow, etc. of the material, and to ascertain that you don't go wrong from the start. If there is a certain flaw in the material, you need to ascertain that before you do the molding for the product. So material level testing has its own very critical importance. Different sorts of material level testing, such as heat deflection temperature testing, the VSP testing, MFI, the humidity chamber, even the ESCR test, which is very critical for outdoor applications for long-term exposure to UV. Then different sorts of material testing. My advice to all the rotomolders would be to have certain basic material testing equipment and product level testing equipment in-house, so that if you want to adhere to the requirements of the customer, you will be required to have certain such testing inbuilt in your system within the company and not rely heavily on outdoor labs. You should be referring to the testing standards every now and then. They keep changing also, and you need to have the latest updated versions with you to make sure that you are guiding your customer with respect to their product requirements correctly. Again, experts are at our disposal to help us and give us the right kind of guidance that is required. And we need to also understand that we don't know everything. So it's always important to gain outside help when and where required. And you can also consider outsourcing your testing requirements to established labs like ICAT, IIP, or ARAI in the automotive domain, or CPET, etc., which is best suited to your requirement with the kind of equipments that they have. But like I said, certain basic testing should be in-house, whereas advanced testing can be outsourced to these labs. Packaging requirement, sort of neglected area in certain in many occasions, but this needs to be taken care of during the design phase itself. Packaging also includes your logistics. So you don't want to design a product that eats a lot of airspace, that eats a lot of volume, wherein if you would have better designed your product, you could have shipped maybe 50 parts in a container. And because of not optimized designing, that comes down to 30, so that adds to your product costing, because majorly today customers require products landed. What are you supplying to them landed? And that is how they judge the product cost suitability. So it is important to get a sign off from the customer. The transit type and quality of the logistics also needs to be determined, and the storage requirements and conditions at the customer end also need to be understood before the product is taken into use by the customer. So for example, I'll give you an example from the material handling industry in this case, wherein all the 90% of the requirements that are there for pallets, rotational molded pallets, are for non-UV material, as they are going to be used in-house inside the warehousing. But there are times when the warehousing is not ready, and the customer may end up storing the pallet outside in an open garden or an open area where they may be exposed to heat for 2 months. That will severely impact your material properties, and when the product is finally taken into use, then it may impact the product quality. So all these products, all these factors need to be considered before you design on the before you finalize on the packaging requirements. One other behavioral challenge in the custom molding industry is, especially in India, there is a lack of skilled workforce or skilled niche workforce which suits the rotational molding requirements. So since there is no specific degree certification, etc., available for rotational molders in India or for the skilled workforce in India, so it is very important that the owners, the main drivers of the business of the rotational molder, are involved keenly, deeply in the custom rotational molding process to get the best product out. Because as an owner, you are aware of all the different nuances in the rotational molding industry, but that may not be very well conveyed down the chain because of the lack of, I would not say it is not improved. It has improved over the past few years, again thanks to the associations that we have, but there's a fair bit of learning that is required there. So if you are going to enter into a custom rotational molding field, you need to be involved personally in certain product developments, and that is going to continue till there is till rotational molding is inculcated as a part of curriculum in certain institutes. Some recent market opportunities that have opened up. These are some very broad ideas that I have. So in COVID times, there are decorative sanitizer stands that can be derived, that can be made. certain companies in India and abroad have made certain washing equipment such as wash basins, etc., very decoratively designed. These can be used in areas where aesthetics are of key importance in commercial spaces, offices. Since the vaccine is not coming out anytime in the near future, it becomes it is important that these systems and infrastructure are in place at your workplaces. So the demand for these products is going to be high, and rotational molding can fill in such gaps. Indian toy industry is getting a big push from the government recently after the tiff with China, and rotational molders can bank upon the several subsidies, etc., that have been given by states at their level for setting up plants and for the toy industry. And rotational molding does have a very prominent exposure to the toy industry with the kind of offerings that we can give. This is a little medium-term problem that rotational molders can address. But climate change is causing extreme weather conditions. Only in this year, there have been several threats of cyclones, typhoons, etc., in India, different parts of India, even extreme rainfall conditions. And if you have to see the allocation to disaster management from government in different areas, it has consistently gone up in the past 5 years. They have been envisaging this, and boats and tubes and different sorts of kayaks are very prevalent and are very make a big part of the budget for disaster management for different government bodies. So rotational molders do have an opportunity over there too. And this is an ongoing process of the government, the Swachh Bharat mission. Different products have opened up in this segment for India, not only for sale basis, but on rental basis also. So with the increase in the events industry until last year, a lot of opportunities for rental toilets, etc., has opened up. So these are important areas that can be focused upon by rotational molders for custom molding applications in India. This would be the last slide of my presentation. So to sum it up, what would you need if you have to enter into the custom rotational molding domain? You will need design capabilities at your end. These include very strong and experienced design team, keen interest from the promoters of the business in the designing of the products, because challenges or problems that a rotomolder owner can solve, the industry ecosystem has not reached to a level that a senior management person in the organization may or may not be able to solve. So especially for this may not hold true for all sizes of the company or companies of all sizes, but it is very true for medium and small sized companies, wherein the owner involvement is very high in design. And for this, you should have basic systems such as SolidWorks for 3D modeling, etc. At BDI, what we practice is we have all our systems and processes routed through SAP. So we have custom designed the SAP to a manner that project management and product development also gets taken care of through SAP. And that has helped us in sticking to efficiencies and adhering to timelines. So such type of digital solutions are required in the businesses today. Good quality tooling, very important. Strong material knowledge. I wouldn't say that you would need a very in-depth material knowledge, but an overall understanding of the materials is very much required. Then good process control tools such as temperature loggers, etc., required to make the product. Stringent quality systems would be required to make sure that you don't have a high level of quality rejections. What you should anticipate or expect in a custom molding domain is lower volumes, because as soon as the volumes go up, the product gets defined into a mass market category with a lot of competition, etc., coming in. Price wars happen. So lower volumes is something that you will get accustomed to in a custom molding industry. But you will also be rewarded with higher profitability per part, provided you are able to keep your quality in check and the process control systems in place, because you don't want to reject every 2 parts made out of a batch of 10. So that is like a 20% rejection. So you don't need to be in that domain. And it is always going to be a niche market, where as soon as your custom molded product becomes a mass market, you will lose the opportunity for higher profitability. That is a given. Lower volumes, you should also remember lower volumes mean less room for error. Like I mentioned, you don't want to be rejecting 2 parts out of every 10 made. That is like a 20% rejection, and no matter how high the profitability is, you will not end up making profit. Shorter product life cycle is another challenge in the custom molding industry. So there will be a new product around the corner. You don't want to invest too much time into developing a product. That is the area that you need to take care of. With the change in products consistently, you will have to make sure that your development time for every product is reduced. There is going to be a high demand for innovative products. So as a rotomolder, you should always be on the hunt for clicking pictures of any innovative product, which may be in a different material or technology today, but can be rotomolded. So you need to be always very aware about such things. Your product cost must be less. This is a given. Must be less than the conventional product that is there. Especially in India, products are always cost conscious, so you cannot really go with expensive product. Up to 5-10% is okay with certain benefits that you can show to your customer, but not anything beyond that, no matter how good or aesthetically beautiful your product is. If it is not fitting the cost parameter, there will be no takers. And you also need to be ready that it will be copied or made into something better after taking your product. So that you cannot escape this. This is going to be a part. It's a part and parcel of the industry, and not only rotomolding, but all industries of course. So any product that you come out with will have certain replications happening by different companies. So you need to be understanding and accepting of that fact rather than being revolting to such a situation. That was my presentation on custom rotational molding. I hope I've been able to answer certain doubts that that the attendees may be having today. Now I'm open to questions. Thank you so much for your time and the patient listening, everyone.
Thank you, Rahulji. Seti ji?
Yeah. Thank you, Rahul. Yeah. Let's just see. Thank you, Rahulji, and dear Roma friends. I welcome you on today's webinar 17. This is today is the 17th webinar, and we are celebrating this. I thank Mr. Rahul Saini of BDA Industry for accepting Roma request for today's webinar, and also thanks for his wonderful presentation. Mr. Rahul is a young and dynamic next generation entrepreneur and technocrat. Roma require the young entrepreneur to come forward.
Hello.
Yeah, Roma require the young entrepreneur to come forward and take the initiative for development of rotomolding industry in India. Mr. Rahul has given the very informative presentation about the custom molding products. He has emphasized on the current scenario of the custom molding product in India. As we all aware that the custom molding product demands are increasing day by day. Earlier, the water tank market was 80% and custom molding products were 20%. But then present scenario in last 5 years, the custom molding market is upcoming and it is almost crossing 30 to 35%. So there is a big opportunity for the rotomolder to enter in the custom molding products. As Mr. Rahul has emphasized that the different custom molding products can be made. The major market for the custom molding in present scenario, the furnitures are there, toys are there. You can enter in the road safety factor products, marine products are there. Material handling products is the big market for the custom molding product in India. Sanitization is also a very big market. As you know that our Prime Minister Modi has given the sanitation products, especially for the toys, toilets and biotanks. That is a very special product which can be developed by the rotomolding industry. The waste management products is again a big market, like a garbage bin, the material and the different type of garbage bins, bigger size, smaller size, pole mounted garbage bins and different things. Then underground sewage system is an upcoming market. That is also a custom molding products. So a lot of people are entering, and still the very big opportunity for the roto molders to enter in this field. The other field, which is the automobiles factor field, that is also a custom molding. One can enter in the automobiles field. So there are different products which can be developed by custom molding products, and it's a very big opportunity for the roto molders. Mr. Rahul has also emphasized that the key challenge is one person if you enter for the custom molding products. So in that case, he has also shown us that the product, what are the factors that to be taken care. That is the product performance, the product designs, material selection is also important factor, and the tool designs, the tool development, quality, packages, and different packaging is also important part for the custom molding products. So he has given in a very brief detail custom molding products, how to select and how to make the products. Now he has also shown that the toys industry, that is the biggest upcoming market for the toys, and I think Mr. Manoj Patria from Reliance Industry and other people are working on this project, and very soon we will coming up the full day session for the toys industry product in our webinar, where we'll show our members and non-members that what are the new opportunity for the toys product in India. So in short, the custom molding is a very big market, and as you know, this is the third webinar we are organizing on the custom molding products. So still a very good scope and the opportunity that custom molding products can be taught to our members and given the emphasis on these things. Now in India, the roto molding industry is coming from the different phase from the custom molding products. So one can enter in this product and make a good opportunity and make a good money from these products. I thank you, Mr. Ravi Kadiwar of Greenage Industry, to welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Rahul Saini. Mr. Ravi is a well-known industrialist and manufacturer and exporter of plastic products. I request Mr. Ravi Kadiwar to take active part in ROMA activity and do for the upgradation of roto molding in India. As you know that we are always arranging the seminars and webinars during this COVID, and we have got a lot of activities that you are all always that we are the ROMA activities, the seminars are there, conferences are there. We also give the technical support to our members. These are the different factors which you always conduct. We are working on the BIS standards and other things that we already emphasize on last webinars. Today, I am going to give the very big announcement that is ROMA is growing now. So it's a historical moment for our all ROMA members and roto molding industry in India that today we have crossed the century. So we have crossed the 100 members today, and we are witnessing this this day today. And for the 100 members,
Congratulations.
Big applause. Big applause.
Yes, congratulations.
and this is the we are not done the only the thing. This is a sixer for the 100 members. That we have got 3 members all together. They come together within the fraction of minutes. They all given the commitment that they all want to become to the member of 100 for the ROMA. So first I welcome Mr. Balveer Saini from industry. He's from the Star Batteries and Allied Industries. We welcome Roma team. Welcome to our Roma family. I also welcome Mr. Suresh Naik from the Goa. It is Rukmani Traders from the Goa. He's also become the Roma member today. They all are the molders. And a special thanks to Mr. Blaise Kosteva, who has just given the confirmation becoming a 100th member. He's from the GMI Charak Molders, Goa. So all three members are together, come together to become the 100th members. This is a century for us and a big, great moment for the Roma industry and the rotomolding industry in India. Once again, I give thanks to all the new members. Now, the next announcement which I'm going to give the thing for on the special occasion of our festivals is a special package we have developed for the Roma membership. It's a very special package we had designed for our existing members as well as the new members. So you can see the existing member who are our members, they can renew their packages. We have given the special 50% special discount on this occasion. That is the COVID discount. Due to the COVID discount, we have this year we are not made our business properly. So especially to considering this part, Roma is giving the special 50% discount on our regular membership package, and special 20% discount we are also giving to the loyalty discount who are from the inception of the Roma, they are our members. So altogether 70% discounts is given to the members who want to become a renewal on this thing. This package will be valid till 31st December 2020. Now for our new members, we have come out with a special package. They are also going to avail the 50% special discount for the COVID discount, and they will also be able to avail the special additional membership for 2 months up to the December 2020. So it's a special package for all our members for the upcoming years. So we can become, because our next target for our membership is the 200 members. Now, I'm proud to announce that we are the third largest rotomolding association in the world and the largest rotomolding association in India. Today we have already crossed 103 members and the four members for this one. So now this year our target is 200 members. So I request all the members and the non-members, they take the advantage of our special package and become the members and make a strong team, and we become the world largest association in the coming years. So I appreciate all their efforts. As far as the international membership drive, we already started the thing and we have got a good response. We have got almost 3-4 members, and a lot of members inquiries are coming up, and we will also come with a special package for them also. But presently we have the same package which they are having. So we request them to become an international member also and assist in our membership drive. Now, after the packages, I would like to say that this coming year we are going to work on the skill development program, which is designed by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So in that Roma team is working with the skill development department, government skill development department, and soon we are coming up with a special webinar with their directors, skill development directors, and our Roma team will sit together and we'll work out the good packages for our Roma members for skill development. As you are all aware that we are working on the water tank, we already submitted and it is they accepted our proposal, and soon they are working on our proposal for the IS standards. Soon we are entering with the this thing. We will also work for the underground water tanks standard also. The Roma team is working on this subject also. As you all aware that our Roma website is active and a lot of people are visiting, so you can avail the opportunity to put the advertisement and avail the opportunity to put your ad and get benefited from that one. At this moment, I will also thanks to our all sponsor who always support us for all the programs. So more and more sponsors should come forward and give the support to Roma to become a largest association in the world, so we can represent on your behalf to all the government agencies as well as the international platform. I thanks M Plus, Kaveri, Turbo, Hira, Aryan, Pooja, Piyush Rotomet, ML Industry, and Swastik Rotomet for giving the regular support for that one. We also support to our all resin supplier. They are also on every event they are supporting us, and I request all the big resin support to come forward and be a part of Roma and support roto molding industry in India. Our we know that now that our Diwali festival is coming, so in this context, our next webinar will be after the festival, Diwali festival, and that will be held on 21st November 2020. The timing will remain same. The topics and other details will be given to you in due course time. So you can save the date for 21st November and do the thing. So I thanks again to all our Roma management members, non-members to take the active part of our special package and become a Roma member and make a strong platform for the Roma for upcoming years. So well, we can have the target of 200. We have the target 200 members in this year. So please support for our target. I again thanks to all the to Mr. BDI and Mr. Dalvirji and Akshay also for supporting and giving the presentation of Mr. Rahul on this occasion. And thank you, Mr. Ravi Kadiwar, for this occasion. Now I request Manojji to have the question and answer session for this webinar. Thank you. Manojji, can you take over?
Yeah, thank you, Seti ji. And first of all, congratulations to Rahul sir for this excellent presentation. And entire members who are attending this webinar are appreciating your presentation, and you delivered all the major points of custom roto molding, and I think all are very curious to learn and work on this, because of Indian market is dominated by tanks, and tank market is already saturated, and there is no big margin in tank market. So people are looking for some high margin products. For that, they want some vision, some clarity, some directions. So Rahul ji, you give clear directions, clear vision on custom roto molding product. I also want to add some points like roto molding sector is always promising and made for passionate entrepreneurs. Passion is the key for custom roto molding, first. And second is the Indian economy is booming very fast. We have witnessed many revolution in India, like the digital revolution, farm to retail revolution, green revolution, milk revolution, industrialization. So in sub revolution ke andar we are getting a lot of opportunity for custom roto molding products. And India have a large number of skilled younger manpower. And that is added advantage for growing Indian economy. In last decade, retail, infrastructure, lifestyle, door safety, material handling, automotive sector are growing rapidly. Or by these rapid growing, shifting from tank to non-tank are happening, and right now this shifting showing that 70-30 ratio, 70% is tank and 30% is non-tank. Maybe maybe 60, maybe it will 65-35 as per correction of this year. I'm getting data from industry that it is 65-35 right now. 65 is tank and 35 is non-tank. So it's a great opportunity for Indian market. And strategy also telling us about toy market. So toy market is the 90% dominated by Chinese toys, and Indian entrepreneurs are lacking because of they are importing ready-made toys. So this is a right time to enter in toy market. Even government is giving lucrative offers and subsidies, and even making some special toy zones. First toy zone is coming in Greater Noida by UPSIDC and central government. So this is toy zone is dedicatedly working for toy industry for plastic and wooden and any toys. So there are many opportunities in India. So I'm opening this session for a question answer session. So hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Anybody can ask any question in open house.
Hi Rahul, this is Mukesh.
Yes, hi, sir.
How are you? So nice to have you. And on this occasion of you doing presentation, our dear friend Balbirji is becoming member. Is really joyous for Roma, and my old good friend Mr. Blaze is also there, and other friends over here in Roma. Thank you very much for the support. Rahul, my question to you for your presentation, which is really fantastic, and you are definitely the leaders in custom molding in India. What level of artificial intelligence or automation you foresee in current scenario in next 3 years into roto molding as per custom molding?
Yes, thank you for the kind words, sir. And I wasn't aware that Uncle was joining today, so that came as a surprise to me also. But what better question? So coming to your question, I see a lot of automation coming in the machine perspective. So we've in the past 3 or 4 years, we've seen a lot of talk happening around the electronic machines and the electronic heated molds that are coming up. So especially for parts which are going to be in mass production and parts that do not require a lot of changing of tools, etc., happening, and same design needs to be replicated and mass produced. So these machines are going to take the center stage there once we are able to have them at a more optimized pricing. So I see that as a big automation coming in. There are lot of techniques happening on the material loading side also, wherein automatic mechanized loading systems are being developed by different machine manufacturers in Europe. So such kind of automations are going to help, and even certain mold manufacturers have now started giving us pneumatically tightened bolts, etc. So these kind of automations are going to optimize the rotomolding process to give us more uniform and more cost optimized products. All these put together will take us to something that they call as Industry 4.0, wherein we will be having more automation and less manpower dependence. So manpower is also becoming a challenge in the rotomolding industry going forward, and skilled manpower basically. So these kind of automations are going to help us overcome these challenges and keep the momentum going for rotomolding, I feel.
But the cost advantage, industry always talks of the cost advantage, Rahul, that BDI being there into it, and I'm sure you must be getting into this mode. So how would you amortization of cost of such expensive material that you would foresee for other automolders to get into this automation or AI coming in?
So like I said, sir, automation will play a major role, especially in products which have a set demand for them. So for custom rotational molding, automation seems a little distant even today, to be honest, because the parameters and the specifications keep changing. A product can be as small as say a few hundred to 4.5, 5 meters, or even larger in some cases. So their automation can be a challenge as of today. But for products which are fairly set, say if I have to give you an example of an automotive industry, say a particular fuel tank which you supply to a certain customer, if it is So they're investing in something like automated tooling or an automated machine or electronically heated tooling makes sense because you are going to give that X number of parts over the next couple of years, and your amortization can come in there then.
Fantastic. Thanks, Rahul.
Thank you, Mukesh bhai. Any more questions?
Hi, Rahul. This is Ravi.
Yeah, hi
Uh,
Ravi.
Rahul, my question continue to what Mr. Mukesh said was, how's the status of tool availability, or I would say the mold availability in India? Because my experience with custom rotomolders is they always complain that we don't have enough quality mold availability in India. So since you are one of the biggest custom molder, what's your take on that? I mean, how you cater to custom molding on the way on that front?
So until a few years back, this was a concern, no doubt, wherein even we at BDI had a challenge to get the right size set of toolings from Indian suppliers. But today, what we need to understand on a broader scale is that the ecosystem for rotational molding has become so strong that we have everything available at the tip of our fingers. So the knowledge set at the molders, at the mold manufacturers ends have also increased to a significant level. And uh, barring a very few technically very advanced requirements wherein we we do not go in for a local supplier. Other than that, I think all of the other requirements are very well can be taken care of within India only. And people have brought in technologies which were prevalent abroad first, and now they've replicated them in India. So, barring a few instances wherein I'm not sure it is due to the lack of competence at the mold manufacturers end, but it is a lack of trust at the customers end maybe. Mold manufacturers are very competent these days to service to provide any kind of molds that you require, provided you've been fair, transparent, and honest in giving the right guidance to them with respect to your product performance requirements. So, if I have to put it on a scale, maybe it was a 4 years back or 5 years back. Today it is a very strong 8 or 9.
Okay. So I guess if anybody is looking for custom molding, the tools are available in the domestic market itself.
Yes, yes, provided you have your requirements listed correctly. So a lot of quality mold manufacturers available now.
Rahul, one more question. What do you think of the certification process with ARI for especially for your fuel tank and automotive sector and preparedness for the B6 and the latest technology which government plans to get introduced? How's the environment is like positive from that sector, or still there's a lot of red tapeism going on?
So as far as ARAI is concerned, sir, I think it has come a long way. Earlier, we needed to first educate them as to what is the molding process all about, and what is the kind of testing that they need to run on the product to give their certification. All that kind of learning curve is now gone. Uh, they've become fairly well versed with the product. They are aware of the technology rotational molding, and uh, testing for them now, if you have to hand over a product to them, other than the time lag, there is a certain time lag involved in them testing the product and giving their reports. Other than that, there is no further knowledge sharing that you need to do with them anymore, because they are very well experts in testing any rotational molding product that is there. Sorry, what was the second part of your question?
No, so that red tapeism is like getting over, right? With this certification process, what custom molder used to face before a few years, and now I think ARI is also well versed with the plastic molding process along with the other metal parts which they used to use for especially for automotive.
Yes, yes. So that is completely over, I would say.
Very good. That's good news.
Any more questions? Thank you, Rahul sir. And over to you, Chetanji. Chetanji, are you here? Chetanji?
Yes, I am here.
Yeah.
Manojji, I am here.
Yeah, over to you.
Thanks. Honorable ROMA members and non-members, respected speakers and sponsors, and my dear ROMA FGC board members, I, Chetan Bansal, Managing Director, Electroplast and Chemical Industries, a company into business of high-end roto molding since 1998. I am also Joint General Secretary, ROMA. I feel honored and privileged having an opportunity to offer vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. First of all, I would like to thank all seniors and superiors for showing trust in ROMA. I am extremely elated to announce the successful closure of today's 17th webinar. We got overwhelming response and love across the whole roto industry. And we sincerely thanks to all ROMA members for attending the series of webinars and getting knowledge, announcements and learnings. We are very thankful for a wonderful practical presentation by Mr. Rahul Saini, BD Industries, on custom molding, highlighting various product possibilities along with all critical fundamental quality checks. We all have gained immensely from this presentation. BD Industries is a very well established name in roto molding, having business in all major countries across the globe. Once again, many congratulations and thanks to all ROMA members and non-members. Thank you.
Sir, over to you, Strategy.
Can I ask one quick question for Rahul bhai? Rahulji, you're there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Rahul bhai, you are making this road furniture, which is more like a generic product, like a water tank, a little complicated than water tank, and you are into high-end custom molding. How do you see the mindset of the workers on the shop floor making a high-end product and also the generic product? How do you handle it? Because I believe there's a lot of training goes in the manpower and handling these two different products.
So, sir, there are two bits to this. There are two answers that I would like to give to this question. So, fortunately, one for BDI. Now that we are multi-location, so we've kind of given dedicated facilities to different sorts of products. So one facility will be doing certain products, the other facility will be doing other products. But so the mindset for that particular facility becomes to whatever that product is. But more importantly here, what flows from the top at BDI is that even a road barrier is made as a technical product only. We do not let the quality parameters on anything, any product based on their ultimate requirement go down. So if to be very candid and honest here, BDI even today is a little expensive in the road barriers industry compared to other recent competition, because we've not kind of evolved or adopted to the newer techniques of cost optimizations in that industry. And so our worker is not aware whether he is making a road barrier for an X quality requirement or he's making a fuel tank for a Y quality requirement. It is all going to be a Z quality requirement of BDI, which kind of matches which kind of equates both the quality requirements and gives them one particular standard to follow. So as far as the mindset is concerned, from the top, we've not let that loosen anywhere. We've not let them think that, if it's a particular storage container, you can make it in X quality, and if it is a fuel tank, you need to make it in Y quality. But yeah, as far as theoretically this holds true, but practically based on the plant uh, plant atmosphere, I would say that workers get accustomed to a certain set of quality. And if BDI is making automotive parts in a certain plant, so obviously there is more stringent checks that happen in that plant compared to another. But we've not let that loosen from the top as of date. So that has taken care of quality requirements for us over a wide spectrum of products.
And the last question, sorry, this information is really nice, which all the molders would agree, or the participants. How you see the blow molding, technical blow molding getting into the large requirement of the OEM, especially fuel tanks, technical blow molding vis-a-vis roto molding, as many people think that technical blow molding is going to set a foot into India compared to roto molding, especially like the high speed products or large quantity products. What do you think BDI's stand on this? Have you looked into this prospect?
So these are this is very product specific, sir. As of today, whatever knowledge we have, certain products cannot be replicated into a blow molding model. But yeah, it will be wrong to kind of negate that threat. That threat is always there, and it is coming. It is going to be a threat situation for rotomolders in India if the technology on the blow molding side advances and it replaces certain products of rotomolding. But like I said, it is very product specific also. So certain products cannot be made based on the shapes and sizes in blow molding. But yeah, there will be some replacements happening. But I'm sure there will be more opportunities opening up for rotomolders elsewhere when that happens.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, Mukesh bhai. And I will add to this blow molding point. Actually, blow molding is totally dependent on your end use. If we end use allowed, then blow molding is more popular in many products. Like in a car industry, two-wheeler industry, fuel tanks are only in blow molding. Roto molding fuel tanks are negligible. So depend on कि आपका end use क्या है.
Okay.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir. Thanks, Sati ji. Thanks, Mukesh bhai. Thanks, Rahul sir and Dalbir ji and Akshay ji. And so special thanks to Ravi Kadiwar ji and Chetan ji for vote of thanks and welcome address.
Wishing all the participants and wishing everyone a happy Diwali and prosperous New Year, and happy New Year comes with a lot of happiness and business to all the people.
Yeah, happy Diwali, sir. Happy Diwali to you all, sir.
Happy Diwali and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
And we want to listen new good
Happy
news.
Diwali to all.
Yeah, sir. Happy Diwali, sir.
Happy Diwali to all.